I found out about the party through a neighbor's Facebook post. My parents stood in front of a new house, smiling, holding glasses of champagne, surrounded by family and friends. It was their housewarming party, their dream home, the one I had bought for them. But I wasn't there. I hadn't even been invited. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe they forgot, maybe the invite got lost. But deep down, I knew the truth. They didn't want me there. Their only child, left out of a celebration I made possible. I stared at those pictures for hours. The smile on my mother's face, the pride in my father's eyes. It should have made me happy. But all I felt was this heavy silence pressing against my chest. I remembered the day I handed them the house keys. I was so proud. After years of struggle, I had finally made it. I grew up watching them sacrifice so much. And I promised myself, one day, I'd give them the life they deserved. And I did. When their old house started to fall apart, I told them not to worry. I'd take care of it. I designed every corner of that new home. Mom's favorite blue tiles in the kitchen, Dad's reading chair near the window, the backyard swing from my childhood. It was supposed to be a thank you gift, a way to say, you matter to me. But sometimes, the more you give, the smaller your place becomes. That night, I called my mom, no answer. Then I called my dad, straight to voicemail. By evening, I saw the entire celebration online. The music, the laughter, the speeches. And me, watching it all through a screen? An outsider to the very story I created. My cousin texted, "Your parents' new house looks amazing. You didn't come?" I didn't reply. I couldn't. My hands were trembling because the truth hurt too much to say out loud. For days, I stayed silent. But inside, something broke. Not my pride, my trust. A week later, I went to see them. Mom opened the door with a nervous smile. "Oh, we didn't think you'd want to come," she said softly. "Not want to come?" I asked. "It's your housewarming. The house I bought." Dad appeared behind her. He crossed his arms and said, "We didn't want a scene. Some people think you act too high and mighty now." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. After everything I'd done, they saw my success as arrogance. They felt small in front of me. And instead of being proud, they chose to shut me out. I looked at them one last time and said, "You're right, Dad. Maybe I have changed." Then I turned around and walked away. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just planned. 2 weeks later, they received a letter. It wasn't angry or emotional. It was official. The property ownership had been transferred back to my company. The house was still theirs, but from now on, they'd have to pay rent. I didn't evict them. I couldn't do that. But I made sure they understood that respect can't be taken for granted, not even by family. For the first time, they felt what I felt, being on the outside of something they thought they owned. Months passed. Then one evening, my mom came to my office. She looked tired. Her eyes were red. She sat across from me and said quietly, "We didn't realize how much we hurt you." Her voice cracked on the last word. I looked at her, the woman who raised me, the woman who forgot me that day, and for the first time, I didn't feel anger anymore, just sadness. Because revenge doesn't always fix what's broken. Sometimes it just teaches people what they took for granted. I said, "Next time, Mom, just ask me to come home." That's all I ever wanted. She nodded. Tears filled her eyes. And I realized, sometimes silence speaks louder than shouting ever could. Because the richest house isn't the one filled with furniture. It's the one where you're welcome. And forgiveness? Forgiveness is the quietest form of power there is.